Hello, Star and Flurry. Finally, after a long hiatus, um, I just needed time away. It takes, for me, I don't know what other people do on YouTube, but it takes me quite a bit to get my energy up to comment or make a video. Because they don't, sorry, make shirt straight. They don't happen spontaneously, I don't think, or maybe they do to some people. They don't to me. I need to kind of, not plan things out, but I need to kind of make sure I'm organized and make some notes and thoughts and this and that, and pull up decks that I want to show and that kind of thing. And it just, I don't think when I do it that I, well, whatever. I'm not going to get into my motivations, but whatever. So, but this one has been eating at me for a couple of weeks. I saw, and I don't watch TarotTube exclusively. I do a lot of other things. But for some reason, I got bulleted into watching a lot of kind of TarotTube gatekeepers. This was prompted by a video I saw. This was several weeks ago. And I was like, I kind of was like, why are people out there doing that? I just don't get that. I don't get it. And so it just kind of made me go back whenever I see videos like that, which I do watch them because I'm interested in what people have to say. I've always I'm curious about that kind of stuff. But I so I always save them. I don't know why. It's like, people, my, I have a friend who looked at my save videos and she goes, these are all negative. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. I'm eternally optimistic, so every once in a while I need that balance in my life. So anyways, I was reviewing a lot of those, and then one that kind of came up recently, and maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, what are these people doing? And it just stuck in my craw. And I thought I should do a video about this. But I was way too raw at that point to make that video. Because I love it when people come out and say, I'm gonna make a video that's gonna piss some people off. It's like, that's your first clue. Don't make that video. Because, why, unless you're a politician or something, unless you're trying to get some votes, why would you do that? I don't know. That's just me. As I said, I'm gatekeeping the gatekeepers. But why would you do that? So anyways, yeah, so I took my own advice and I backed off and I said, just let it rest. Just let it percolate in there and see if you can shake it loose. And unfortunately, I couldn't. I literally making breakfast this morning. I was talking out loud as if I was making a video about what I would say. And that's when I stopped, flipped my eggs, and I said, okay, I think we need to make a video because this is going to bother you until you do. Every once in a while, it seems like the TarotTube goes through these cycles of, a couple of creators will get into it. That happened several months ago for whatever reason, and then everything calmed down, and then other people get into it, whatever, and then there's some people that just stay on the periphery, which God bless them, because I don't know how you do that. Probably because you're in control of your channels, which everyone should be, and when you see something that is bugging you, you turn it off. I should have taken my own advice. I did not do that because, as I said, I was curious about where people were coming from with this kind of attitude that they pull. It's not even attitude, it's just their opinion, and they have every right to have their opinion. But I think there's a way to do it. Here I am gatekeeping. I think there's a way to do it to be kind. I don't think you need to call a whole faction of TarotTube in a wasteland because they like tags or VRs or whatever the heck you were talking about. Because I think that there's a lot of people out there that love them. I'm one of them. I think that I think that people tend to think that when people watching are saying that this person is kind of going overboard on their decks, well, I don't really think they're going overboard on their decks for you. I think they're going overboard on their decks for them. I know that's what I do. I show decks because I love them and I want to show them off. It's like show and tell. Back when you were a second grader, remember coming up with the book, and showing pictures on a page or whatever? That's to me what that is. And I know a lot of people aren't that way, but that's how I am. And I enjoy watching those. And for you to diss the whole crowd because of that, it was like, come on. Deck hauls. I love deck hauls. because I get excited when I say, "Oh, I've got that one. Yep, got that one. Oh, yeah. Nope, not that one." It's good to revisit decks, especially in the period that I've been doing this, which is now bordering on about 6 years, which is not a long time, but it is. The older I get, the longer 6 years sounds. Um, you spend time learning, and as you learn, decks that you may have put aside because you liked the artwork or whatever, but you never really got the deck. Suddenly, your knowledge has kind of caught up with the deck, and you get re-inspired by somebody talking about that deck in a hall or in a just a deck review or in a whatever. Like I was for a while, I was doing kind of my top 5 decks, which rotate constantly. Everybody has their little, not everybody, but a lot of people have their little basket to their side, which I do, which used to only have 6 or 7 decks. Now I keep about 12. They rotate constantly. Anyways, those are the kind of, I like those videos because it reminds me of decks. I have a fairly large library of decks, and it reminds me of decks that I haven't looked at in a while. That's why I like those. And yet, I think there's gatekeepers out there who just think those are a waste of time because everybody's seen those decks. You're just a salesman. No, you're not. Now I came to understand that I felt that was becoming a little bit part of me because one of the things I really enjoyed when I was first getting into tarot was Tarot 2 people who would list the links to where they got their deck if it was out of print or whatever, so you're not on some wild goose chase. I really appreciated that, and so I included those in my videos early on. And then, number one, it's a pain in the ass to do that. And number two, I was like, I'm not here to sell these decks. I when I see a deck I like, Google Chrome picture, find out which deck it is, dig around in the internet, find it if I can, or write whoever did the video and say, can you tell me what deck that was? I can usually get the answer without having to do a link. I mean, do a little of your own research. And so I stopped including the links because I was like, no, I'm not going to participate in that part. Conscious decision just to not participate in that part of it because I'm not really here to sell decks. But for those who are, God bless them. For those who have affiliate links, whatever. In this day and age, people have 3, 4, 5 income streams. I am so thankful that I'm not one of them. I'm retired. I'm okay, and I will be okay. But I think that there are people hard scrabbling through their lives, trying to make ends meet, trying to pay their goddamn rent. And if that means having a join button on their YouTube channel because they've got 10,000, I don't know if there's a limit or what am I trying to say, a number of subscribers you need to be able to include something like that. I don't know. But if there is, yay for you. And if that's your goal to be able to do a membership, have at it. Do tiers, whatever. I belong to 3, I think. Mostly at the lowest levels, just because I want to tell them in my own small way that I support the content that they're doing, that they bring value to what I am learning about TarotTube, or not tarot as a system, as a system of divination, or I don't really believe in. It's not fortune telling to me. It's a system of. I come from the school of Vincent Petici, really more of a conceptual blending thing that makes tarot work for me, and for others that I read for. But that being said, I think how people read tarot, what people do with their tarot decks, what people show off on their YouTube channels is their business. And it shouldn't matter to you if you don't agree with it. You do have control of that channel button. Just turn it off. Don't subscribe. Shows up in your feed, bad YouTube. Take it out. I think there's a thing that you can say, I don't want to see videos by this person. Just do that. But don't come on YouTube and tell them that they're doing it wrong. Tell them that what they're spending time on is worthless. That just seems rude. And you can do it under what are some of the words that I heard during some of these? I'm just telling my truth. I'm just being honest, just being straight up with you. You know, I'm going to be transparent. I'm speaking frankly. I'm not going to lie. I just want to be authentic. It's like most people on TerraTube are being exactly that. And if they aren't, and you don't like that aspect of them, then turn them off. It's so frustrating to me that people come on just to rant about how people are doing things, and then doing it under the auspices of, but I'm fine, I'm doing it the right way. You know, my what is it? My ethics are in the correct positions. I don't do it this way, and it's like, well, fine for you. But when you, I don't know. It's just some of these ones are just like so irritating. It's like, well, hello, who are you being so high and mighty now? You know, since when did you have all the answers? You know, and I'm sure that none of them are going to watch this video. I'm sure they all are a lot more subscribers than I will ever have. But and I clearly am one of those people who probably don't bring a big value. I think I'm a storyteller, and I think in the process of me doing my channel, which is very intermittent, I hope that most people just come to hear the stories, because I have some zingers, you know, and that's what I do. And so, but tarot is the community that I enjoy watching the most on YouTube. Well, that and politics, but we're going to leave the politics out for now. And so I really respect anybody who comes on here and films something for me, for them, for me. And I'm going to follow them if I follow them, and I will join them if I want to join their membership. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you're trying to make your rent and I can help you be a part of that, then I'm here for you. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then there was one that was talking about everything you need to learn from tarot, you can learn on the internet or from books. And I'm like, well, yeah. But I would tell you, if my dad gave me a book on how to ride a bike, of course, YouTube wasn't invented then, so I couldn't have watched a video. But I don't think watching a video would have helped much either. I didn't take to riding a bike like a duck takes to water. I didn't, a crucial factor was that I didn't understand balance. And once my dad said, you need to, I was like, it was like, I was like, oh, and suddenly it clicked. But I needed that back and forth. I needed that lesson. And I truly think I have taken some tarot classes that I'm so appreciative of. None of them were highly expensive. I didn't get a certificate from any of them because that was not what they were doing. They were helping me structure a practice. They were helping me learn how to tell the story in the cards. Because storytelling comes very easy to me, but looking at a fixed picture, ink on paper, and mashing them together to tell a story was not easy for me. And I took an incredible class with a guy I won't mention, because I didn't ask ahead of time if I could, but I will tell you he was great. And the interaction was fabulous. And yes, I paid for that because he's a teacher, a mentor. And I think it's important to have those in any field. I didn't, I was in hospitality for 35 years. Well, more than that, but I count 35 because that's what the government counts, 35 years. I was in it for 35 years, and I had mentors all the way through until I left. And there's nothing more gratifying than becoming that for somebody else, which I also did. I was very thankful to receive many occasions where I received cards after a person had been with us for a while and left, commenting that they appreciated the time that I spent with them and what they learned. And I think that's important. No, did they pay me? No, but I paid them to be there to learn from me. So there's different kinds of income, different kinds of reasons for incoming. And I think that whatever your choice is your choice. And whatever you charge is what you charge. It's just like the whole, there was a big argument a while back about indie creators charging too much for decks. And I was like, well, then make your own. Pretty easy. If a restaurant is too expensive for what you want to go out for, then you don't go out. That's pretty easy. We make that choice every day. Well, I was in it for, as I said, 30 years. I don't go out to restaurants anymore. They're great. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't want to be in one. But if you decide one's too expensive, you don't go. On the other hand, if you're celebrating a very cool thing and you want to go to one, then you deem it worthy the price. And that is what, in my mind, is what, it's not restricted to tarot tube either. Everybody's out there doing it. Come on. If you're getting, for instance, I am a big subscriber to Midas Touch. I really like their content. That's where I get my news. I haven't watched legacy media for 12 years. And I was so thankful that somebody finally came into the void, like Midas, and gives me information and that I'm interested in hearing. And do I pay them? Absolutely. I want to support their channel. I don't spend a lot, but I do subscribe because I want to support what they're doing. And that's why I support other YouTubers as well. Not a lot, like I said, I think maybe 3, 4. But that's because I get value from them. And I appreciate maybe getting stuff early, or I appreciate the extra quality or the extra time, care they spend on a video that they know only the members are watching. I think it's important to respect that. And if you don't respect that, then don't join. It's as simple as that. But to come on YouTube and complain about it, what the frick? Why? Turn them off. Not your interest. Pretty easy. What's one of the other things? I talked about that. Yeah. I think I hit most of my clicks there. I wrote down kind of my peeves. So, where are we at time-wise? Oh, good. Under 30 minutes. That's always a good thing. So, speaking of which, if I think a couple of them were mad that Llewellyn and US Games and Yorkpool and Hay House or whatever are sending them, these people, decks, because they have 10,000 subscribers or 7 or 6. I don't know what the cutoff is. But I'm like, if somebody wants to send me decks, I'm like, sweet. I spend a lot of money in these companies, and if they want to send me some decks for me to review, I'm on board. Will my review be tainted by the fact that I got the thing free? No. And I'll tell them that. And if they have an issue with that, then be forewarned. Don't send me the deck. And because I can't possibly get out of this video without showing at least one deck, I will tell you that this deck, this is my new system. I love these. I got these on, believe it or not, I've never bought anything in my life on Temu. I think I talked about this on a previous video, although I can't remember if I posted it. I actually do a lot of videos that don't post them because I'm like, well, that was stupid. But I use these. I get them on Temu. I think it's Temu. Never ordered anything from Temu. But I was looking for a specific, in fact, I'll show it off, a specific size to handle most tarot decks. And they're just not easy to find. Partially because I used to use bags all the time. And I am 71, 2, 1. I can't remember what's in the bags. There's some that are very specific. Been there for a long time. The ones that I bagged early on, I remember. But after about deck 10, it's like, I have no idea. So I started getting these clear. So I went online looking for this specific size, and I can't even remember the name of it, and I don't even know if I have a link, so I'm not going to put it because I'm not here to sell these. But you can find them on Temu. They have two little things like this. They open like this. They are, give you the size. They are 5 by 3.5. They fit most decks. Oh, and how deep are they? They are 1 3/4 deep, about. give or take a millimeter or two. And I absolutely love them because I can, and they stack really well. So I now have this. Remember that movie? Was it over? It's called Overboard. Remember when Goldie Hawn wanted the carpenter to put in these movable shoe racks that could kind of move back and forth in this? That's what these do for me now. They're stacked up 4 deep in a shelf, and I can literally move the stack and move another one forward and move it sideways and move it forward, and they're all labeled. It's perfect for what I need. But anyways, so this is the I love it. It's the Fairy Wheel Tarot. It's a Llewellyn deck, but it was produced in a small box instead of, I don't have it here anymore, but it was produced in a smaller box, so it's not the big kit that they usually sell you. But it comes with a nice guidebook, and I think I have seen a lot of tarot deck backs. These are probably my favorite. Maybe because of the color scheme. Love them. Cards are very this card stock's okay. It's that kind of fake air cushion feel, and the art is very, and the banners, the Llewellyn banners, and the art is similar to what you find in Good Fortune Tarot, or is it the Bee Tarot? Honeycomb Tarot, Bee Tarot, I think it is. It's similar. I don't think it's the same artist, but it's got kind of the same feel. Warm and cozy. Lovey, easy reader. I love this because all of their knights are dragons. This is the Knight of Wands. Yeah. Anyways, it's an easy deck. It's an easy reader. Is it a good quality? No, it is not. And let me show you why. Let me show you why I say that. Because here it is spread out. Can you see all the dings? All the nicks? Yeah, look at that. It's terrible. Okay, but what I also discovered is that I wear a lot of rings, and I tend to wear them when I shuffle. And it kind of occurred to me after 5-6 years of doing this that maybe I should take the rings off when I shuffle these decks. But I love this deck. It's been fun to work with. I have a couple others that I'm probably going to do a video down the road. And I've got a lot of fun stuff coming up because I'm about to head to California. I think I talked about this before, but I'm doing a big baseball trip in Meru, who now has a new name, by the way. Her name is Saska Meru, because she was built in Saskatoon, Canada. And I wanted to incorporate that into her name, so she is now Saska. And plus, Meru was my first van. This is my second van. But I do tend to slip and always call her Meru. So now she's got her full name, which is Saska Meru, named after Meru 1. It's incorporated in there. But anyways, headed to California to see some small town baseball. I'm hitting every team in the California League. And then ending up in LA to see my brother and his wife. So really looking forward to that. And although we discovered on my Cooperstown trip that I am simply not, which I don't even know if I ever did a recap for that. But I learned eventually that I'm not a vlogger. I will never be a vlogger. I don't want to be a vlogger. Mostly because I don't want to learn how to edit. And I don't want to spend my life editing. So I'm probably not going to do that. But if I have check-ins I'm going to be camping most of the way. I think I take a hotel halfway down and halfway back up, but the rest is camping, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll keep you all posted on that. So anyways, thanks for listening to my rant. Please comment below how you feel about all this stuff, and if there is, does tarot tube need to be structured? Rule number 1, do this. Rule number 2, do this. Or can we just let people do tarot tube the way they do tarot tube? Share what you share. Like what you like. Walk away from what you don't like. You're in charge of your channels. So that's all I have to say. Okay, thank you. Talk to you later. Star and Flurry out.